Our next presenter is Bill Alderman, founder and president of Alderman and Company. Founded in 2001, Alderman and Company is an investment banking exclusively focused on the sell side of mergers and acquisitions for companies in the middle market of the aerospace and defense industry. During his career, Mr. Alderman has completed more than $1 billion in mergers and acquisitions related transactions prior to 2001. Mr. Alderman worked for a decade on Wall Street for the industry, predominantly working on M&A transactions in the middle market of the aerospace and defense industry. His past employers include Fieldstone Capital, BT Securities, General Electric, and aviation sales companies. Mr. Alderman is also a commercial pilot with more than 30 years of flying experience and owns and operates a Sirius SR-22 aircraft and is an active command pilot for Patient Airlift Services. Welcome, Bill.
Good afternoon, everybody. So why is an investment banker speaking here, right? So how many people here are, let's ask in the past, how many people here in the room have actually been involved in some way, shape, or form in a merger or acquisition? Raise your hand. A good percentage. Okay, how many people here think that mergers and acquisitions might be important to the health of this community? Some. I'm going to try to argue, and now I've got some slides that go on a little bit of a tangent, and if the slides are up, I'm going to try to help the audience get stronger in this field, which is mergers and acquisitions. And my argument to the audience is the capital markets are critical to your success. The quality of your products, the quality of your people, that's foremost. But if you need a loan from a bank, or if you need an equity injection from a private equity partner, if you need capital, if you're not a healthy capital market community, you can't prosper. You can't thrive. Right? You may not need to buy new machines today, but someday you might. Okay? Two of you might decide that if you merge, you can offer better products and services to your customers. So the argument I'm going to make today is you need to be good at this. It's not an everyday activity. You don't have a staff meeting once a week about it. But the stronger you are, the more ready you are to be in the capital markets doing the one thing we do. We don't lend, provide capital. We just advise on mergers and acquisitions. So in that one little slice, which may only happen once every 30 years for your company, I would like you to be stronger. Because the better you are at M&A when needed, the stronger this community will be. That's my thesis, and let's go through some slides. And I think I've got a total of about 7 minutes left, right? Okay. Michael read my bio. This is my firm. Those are my colleagues. This is all we've ever done. Okay, so this is our wheelhouse. Okay? We consider ourselves more middle market A&D than we do investment bankers. This is where we live. 5 mistakes. Don't make these mistakes. And if you're not an owner, advise your owner when you get a chance over a cup of coffee, hey, I heard about this stuff. And your owner may say, well, I'm not going to retire for 19 years. Well, just put it in a notebook somewhere and put it in your desk. In 19 years, go do this. Okay? And the key is you'll hear some of this takes years to get ready for. And I'm sure everybody in this room, or at least the leadership in this room, if you're going to expand or open a new facility, you're going to plan and prepare and plan and prepare and then execute. Or as the carpenter says, measure twice, cut once. For some reason, a lot of companies will go into a merger and acquisition activity with no preparation. And if there's one thing I'd like this community to take away from this speech today, you can't do that. You're not going to be overly successful. Plan, prepare, and execute. And if you're not going to be involved in mergers and acquisitions for 10 years, maybe once a year you think about this. So, the 5 most common mistakes that our team has seen in the recent past deal with management incentives, due diligence, projections, budgets, and legal counsel. And this is not written in highfalutin finance terms. This is written in pretty much English. So here's the takeaway, and then I'll give some examples. I probably don't have time to get through them all. This slide deck will be on our website. We're happy to email it to you, give it to you, whatever you'd like, print it and mail it to you. So, what I miss, you'll be able to pick up. But this is the punchline. This is the bottom line. If you have key management in the company, they should be incentivized to be involved in this process. It's important to you. So if you're the owner of a private company and you might be involved in mergers and acquisitions in 10 years, think about who on your management team needs to be working on that. You wouldn't expand to a new facility without a team of experts on your staff that was their part-time job. And you may be in charge of quality, but I need your help every Thursday afternoon to plan on building a new factory. The same is true for mergers and acquisitions. Who's going to be on your internal team to help you? Be well prepared for buyer due diligence. And there's a little bit of technical stuff here, but we all know that if you're going to buy a house or a used car or anything, you're going to do a little due diligence to make sure that it works. Well, the same is true when you buy a company, okay? The issue is that to get ready for due diligence as a seller, you can't just decide on a Thursday that come Monday you're going to entertain mergers and acquisitions activities. It takes months, we would argue years, to prepare. And so if you're a seller and you're thinking of selling in the next 2 years, it's time to hire the lawyers. It's time to at least have conversations with people like us and think about what you need. If you need audited financial statements and your auditor says, well, we need 12 months to do a review, and then with a review we can do a confirmed balance sheet, and then the next year we can do an audit, well, you can't produce an audited statement in any less than 25 months, okay? Number 3, if you're going to build projections, and most buyers would like a company to say, how are you going to do next year and the year after and the year after, don't make it up, okay? People don't like to give away millions and millions of dollars on someone's guesswork, right? Does your customer want to buy your products because you say it's good? No, they want to see the technical data, right? They want proof, and they want proof again, and they want you to measure it again, right? That's how you guys operate. So when it comes to mergers and acquisitions, it's no different than the way you're running your business. It's not guesswork, it's not winging it, it's not on Thursday, let's do it on Monday. It's professional, proper, methodical preparation. If you put together a monthly budget, if you say to your customer, my product has these measurements and these qualities, and it doesn't, say goodbye to your customer. If you say next month we're going to have X dollars in sales and Y dollars in profits, and it's a 12-day forecast, and you wildly miss your forecast, how is that different than shipping products that don't meet quality? Would you ever consider doing that? Again, if you're going to put together monthly budgets and share those in a sale process, don't wing it. And lastly, M&A counsel. This one sounds sort of silly, but it comes up time and time again. You know, if you have an issue and, for example, you need to retain a DER, you're doing some repair work, you know, would you find someone that did one DER, 180, 130, 14 years ago, and has been a librarian ever since? No, okay? Time and time again, we see people in mergers and acquisitions hiring a lawyer. The last time they were involved in M&A was in law school. You know, they're a real estate lawyer, they're a this lawyer, they're that lawyer, but it's my friend, he's my cousin, he's my brother's sister, or she's my brother's sister. Don't do it. You would never do that in your business. And so when it comes to things like an M&A lawyer, hire an expert. And I can't believe this is true, but more and more often than not, quite frankly, my colleagues and I are seeing sellers proposing using non-expert M&A attorneys as their advisors. Okay, I literally think my time is up, so I think I'm supposed to get off the stage, but we've got some wonderful case studies here about real deals we've done where these things, each one that I mentioned, management incentives not aligned, whatever, I'm not sure it's worth your while for me to go through these. I'd love to, but this can be a 45-minute presentation. So I can either take questions or get off the stage, but I think at this point in time, if anybody wants these 5 case studies, which I would love to go through for an hour, I'm more than happy to talk with you, share them. They'll be on our website, all the rest of it. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Michael.
Thank you, Bill.